Good morning. This is Richard Stanley with the Legacy Foundation. We're a nonprofit and we're working in the development of renewable, sustainable biomass, fuel briquettes to replace firewood and charcoal around the world. Our current work in Guatemala involves a similar project of training trainers and training producers. And in the course of that process, we've discovered that they don't have the Africa tradition of pounding in a mortar and pestle, traditional mortar and pestle you see on a lot of news footage. And that exists a lot in Asia, it's a lot in Africa, but it's not in Mesoamerica. So in order to get by that problem of preparing materials, we've come up with a machine which is not too dissimilar to their traditional coffee grinder, but it involves a lot of technology we adopted from West Africa as well, in terms of peanut shelling and grinding materials. We have a more complicated version of this machine on our website, but it's made out of metal and steel, and it's an awful lot more work and cost. We're trying to find something lightweight, more portable, and just as effective if we can. So here's what we've come up with. This is a simple wooden grinder. It doesn't weigh very much. It's about this size right here. I'd probably be looking at 20 pounds, 25 pounds. It's all made out of 1x2 material, and it has different features on it. But I think first we should do is demonstrate the thing in operation, then we'll come back and look at how it works. Huh? I'll start with the common materials here, leaves that go into the hopper, and it does not require a continuous rotary motion. You just go back and forth, and you start grinding the material up, and it's coming out the front. Relatively easy to operate. If you hit something hard, it will turn the material into, it'll just stop the machine, you reverse the direction. So I think you get the idea what's coming out here. I can catch some in my hand to show you. Okay, that's basically what's coming out. Huh? It also handles a grass and straw the same way. You put that into it. Now you'll notice that starts coming out as a finer material. Like this. Finally, paper. Ubiquitous paper, newspaper, photocopied paper or whatever, goes in a similar way, and that gets a little more tight, but you'll find that the paper starts rolling out now is fine. Okay, let's push it a little bit harder. There aren't really sharp nails inside there. They're not sharp blades that can cut you. I think you get the idea of what's coming through. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at how it works. We have it's been a great deal of attention to try to make the thing in such a way that it can be duplicated easily. These are hacksaw blades. And they're about 1.5 inches long, scrap pieces of hacksaw blade. This is a piece of car tire rubber, which allows this unit to flex when it hits something hard. You can see that bending, okay? This other and final element is nothing more than a common scrub brush, a wire brush that you buy in a hardware store. The spacing between the bristles on the brush aligns with this drum in the center, which is a bunch of 2x6s nailed together and turned. So they're relatively round, they don't have to be perfect. But these are a bunch of nails, common nails, just pounded in. And we used a small disc grinder to create this oval shape on the head so that they can easily pass through the wire brushes on this side. Huh? They're all lined. There are small adjustment screws for that. You see how they're going like that. And that's simple enough to put together. If it's sticking, you turn it like that and work it back in, it's locked in place. We have the same feature on the other side, duplication of the same process over here, okay? Again, the bending blades, wire brush, It hinges in here, and again, no metal parts.
Can you turn it some more, please?
It's like this. Okay. So it's going through the brushes in that way. Okay.
Let's see this side.
You can see it's turning now without. As I push it in, it'll come inside and catch again. Okay. This is a storage compartment because you're out in the field. You need a lot of spare parts, spare hacksaw blades, possibly. You know, they're broken bits of blades, maybe some glue, some you know, whatever you need to keep it going. A wrench, usually a sock. You need a sock, definitely. But that's only because we're taking it down to Guatemala right now, and we need to probably retouch it, touch it up after shipping. Okay. Also, the exit chute here closes up for shipping. And the final bit I'll show you is this one right here, which is the screen, which comes down for cleanup. That comes from an oil drum lid. The holes are roughly about 1/2 inch in diameter, fairly close spacing.
Hold it still up again, please.
Okay. And down, and we lock it this way. All these red handles are nothing more than pieces of 1x2 wood, which has been, you know, fitted with a screw. And the screws are glued into the frame. The crank itself is made from a bicycle, and we just unscrew it. These are parts of a bicycle that you can see the bicycle crank here. The pedal has been rounded. I put a bicycle handle grip over this, what was the pedal stem, and that's basically about it. This is a piece of a bearing from a front axle of a bike. That's a piece of the axle of the bike itself. The collar nut, yeah, it's been welded on, and with, again, thumb screws to avoid the need for tools, so that you can tighten the handle on the shaft. Okay. What we'll do for storage is we'll put this in the box here. Shut the door. Okay. Now to ship this, it's taken apart in this way. Handle box is here. I will turn it upside down. Okay. The stand for it, you don't necessarily need a stand. You can tie it onto a stanchion. That's why these holes are provided here and here and up here. So it can be tied onto a vertical pole if you don't have a solid ground. But the box itself is designed so that it can slide down over the unit like this. We take one screw. Again, this is a bolt that goes through a piece of 1x2. It's been cinched in tight and put some glue on it so it doesn't fall out. Yeah, that goes through here and attaches with the same bolt that held the unit together. So now I have one unit. Yeah. The overall dimensions are about 12 inches by 16 inches by about 27 inches height. It's weighing in around, I expect about 40 pounds. And that's where we're at right now. Okay. Our counterparts down in Guatemala are developing a very similar thing, and we're off for the next 2.5 months to work with them to come up with a hybrid so that it works very well in their environment. But it's also being made in Tanzania, South Africa, and the Philippines. So that's it. That's the Molino y Mano, as we call it in Espanol. Okay, hand-driven grinder. Thank you.